Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy. Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David Allen. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We are here to talk about the Artic Bat, classified number 69 in the classified modern G.I. Joe figure series. So let's see. Thank you, everybody. Let's see. We have Krusty Old Crow in the chat so far. Happy Sunday, Super Dave. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Crusty Old Crow. So there's a little bit of a history with this Arctic bat. As you can see, we've gotten 3 other bats that I have there. But the Arctic bat had a previous release. It was in the 50th anniversary 4-inch line. It was with Snow Job, which I just did the Snow Job figure on the last video. He was 68. So it's kind of apropos that the Arctic Bat and Snow Job were together. Now, I think this is an interesting looking Arctic Bat. He's got a lot more camouflage and a lot of other interesting gear and stuff like that. There's a lot of unique elements to this Arctic Bat. He has 2 heads, a bunch of different stuff on him than previous bats. So I'm glad that they did something different, and I really like this Snow Job that comes with this as well. So that's your 50th anniversary Arctic Bat. So there was a little bit of a history with the Arctic Bat prior to this Arctic Bat. So this Arctic Bat, a little bit of history on this particular figure. A lot of people got their orders canceled. This was a very difficult figure to get, and I know there are people still trying to get this figure. It is not that easy to find in the aftermarket at a decent price. People are taking advantage of people and charging too much for these things on the aftermarket. But we're going to open this one up. First, we're going to go to his designations, which these designations are really tiny now, so it's a little harder for me to see what they are on here. There's the one with the snake head. Let's see. That one is the snake head. That one is the... I don't see the snake head on here. Let's see. A lot of these designations, it's hard to see what they are. Let's see that one. Marksman, maybe? One of them is Marksman. Computer technology looks like one of them. And environmental specialist Artic as well. And I don't see the last one on here. Maybe Yeah, I don't see that last one, so I guess they didn't. I don't have that one on my listings yet. So that's it for now. Arctic Specialty, Computer Science, and Marksman. All right. So then, so those are your designations. They're on the back. We have this render of the figure, and we have a couple little uh, extra items on there and the renders there. So they're doing that cross sell with the render view with all the accessories in the figure. Um, Crushing Crow. I've only landed two of those. I won't go for a third. Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of people that's trying to get this. So I got two as well. And then there's the marksman piece of artwork there. Then there's this really pretty, really nice looking piece of artwork for the Arctic bat there. And then we have the figure photography by Matt Shooting the Galaxy from Hasbro. And in the back, there's a plane up there. Um, and then there's another rattler there. So I guess we're going to get some rattlers because there's two rattlers in there. Um, and that's all that I can see behind there. But it looks really cool, all set up like that. Hey, Sean Jones. Good morning. Thanks for joining us today. We're doing the bat number 69, the Arctic bat. All right, so again, this is the first time we're opening all these figures up. We started with 00 Snake Eyes, and we've gone all the ways up to 69 now. And we've done a bunch of the vintage package ones. We're going to do them every 5 figures. And then once we get to the 60th anniversary and the legacy, we'll do them every 10 figures. And that'll start with 100. So he comes with the crate. They've changed the crate colors to the weapons lockers to gray now, so you can do some different stuff with them. This one has a Cobra logo on that side, the Arctic bat on that side, 69 on that side. So we'll put that aside for a minute, and then we'll take a look at this. Here's the Arctic bat in this package. He looks really cool. Definitely different than the previous bats. So I have the other 3 bats here to showcase this bat to see what the differences between them are, and get a good review of him for you guys. But he's just based off what I've seen in the other 3 versions. He looks much different than those. So that's good. I'm kind of happy about that because I wanted something different, and I had heard that this one was a really good figure. You said you had 2 of them, Crusty Old Crow. Did you like your Arctic bat, or do you think it was overkill, or what on that? Do you think they didn't need the Arctic bat? Do you think he was a definite necessary figure to get, or what do you think about it? All the reviews I've seen previously said that they loved this. So I think I will probably do the same thing. So that gave Snowjob a little bit of an adversary to fight in the snow because he was the first snow character. No, actually, I'm mistaken in that. We've gotten several other snow characters technically prior to Snowjob. We got Arctic Storm Shadow, and then we got Arctic, kind of an Arctic snow Snake Eyes with that second timber, right? So we did get a few Arctic related characters prior to this. There's the package with the bat inside there, the package art. So there you go. And we'll put that aside there. Sean Jones, just another number for me. Oh, okay. So it did make a difference for you. It was just a number. Yeah, this is number 69. I said earlier that the if you look at the numbering, it's 68 and 69 for Snow Job and the Bat. And it's funny that they did the 50th anniversary had Snow Job and the Arctic Bat together. So I wonder if that was a concerted effort when they do these things. Do they plan it like that, or is it just was that just luck, or what? I would love to talk to them more about some of the planning stuff that they do with these figures and how they come out and the release cadence and things like that, because it's interesting sometimes, you know. Um, so this bat has a really cool looking new head. This is a distinctly new head. It's not a damaged head. It's not a regular bat head. He's got all this extra armor on these shoulder pauldrons. He's got a secondary where the other bats just had the belt. He's got this much heavier waist secondary. He's got these big leg type armor secondaries with a holster on one of the legs. Um, the arms look like they're basically the same arms. They're just painted different. The chest is painted different as well. It looks like it's the same chest part. The neck, I don't know. The neck looks different from what I can tell. Let me look at some of these bats to see if the neck is different. No, it looks like the neck might be the same. It's just painted differently. The legs are the same. They have the same knees, and the feet are the same. So there are some new elements to this, but there are also some new, some previous use as well with it. Cool figure, but no emotional tie. That's fine. Nobody's going to have a emotional tie to every figure, or a that type of relationship with every figure. That's the way it goes. I've talked about the characters and the figures that I really like a lot so far, because they are my favorite characters. So I completely understand, Sean Jones. That's going to be the case with everybody. So this one looks really cool. I like the deco. They use like a light brown deco on this, some black, some silver, some gray, a little bit of that royal blue there in the chest. They made the computer panel there royal blue, but I like the reuse, and I like the new. So I think it was a lot of mix of different things with this figure. He's got obviously the secondary, the butterfly shoulder articulation. He's got the double pin elbows, double pin knees still. He's got the wrist articulation. He does not have the secondary wrist. He has the ab crunch and the waist, articulation, the crotch. He's got the new ball joint head articulation. He's got the foot rocker and the second ankle articulation there. So he's got most of the articulation points that previous bats have all got, except he doesn't have that second wrist articulation for that, which I don't think any of the other bats have that. Nope, none of the bats have that. So they use the same arms, so that's why they don't have that. So that's our Arctic bat, and let's look at his accessories, because that's the coolest part about a lot of these bats is all the different accessories and stuff. So we got the Cobra and G.I. Joe packaging there. We got the Indicia and legal gobbledygook, and we'll put that back in there for now. Put this back over here. There. And we will open this up, and we'll see all the cool goodies we got in here. There. Man, look at all this stuff. Holy cow, there's a lot of stuff here. Sure we got everything out of there. Yep, looks like we got it empty. I've always liked the bats. I think the bats have always been really cool characters, and I like how they keep coming out with new versions of the bats. 4-inch did a bunch of new versions. The 4-inch version of him of the Arctic bat was the first time we ever got a Arctic bat. So let's see, we have a white hat, or I should say white helmeted bat head with a little bit of blue, that blue that's in the center, his chest blue, and it's kind of got like some yellow, like it could be like he's in the sunlight or something like that. It's pretty interesting the way they did that paint app. I really like that hat head, actually. It looks really cool. There's some gray deco on that, and there's some words on it. It says Arctic polarized. That's funny. It says Arctic polarized on there. So let's put that there for now. And then we have um, his backpack, which it looks like it's the same backpack that all the other bats have. It's the same backpack, it's just a different color. They did it in gray. So we're going to put that on his back first, get that going. And all the bat backpacks so far have stayed on really good. And I forgot to show this off. I'll take the backpack, but they have that silver deco there on the back, just like they do all the bats. They have the different colored deco on the back. So I really like this backpack because you can put a lot of the accessories in there. This particular head, though, is really a cool head. Has some silver deco, and it has like these red little dot lights around the edges of it. And it has like an eye in the middle, so it's like a cyclops. It's a really cool head, I must say. But I do like the balance of all this deco and stuff, and I like that new head because it definitely gives it a new kind of identity. So we have 2 plates, like the other ones. We have multiple plates. We have 3 plates. All right, so let's get into these different plates. We have this plate here where you have ammunition cartridges on there, like C4 or whatever. And then on the back, there's some greeble and technology in there. And this has some padding as well on the front of it above the C4. So you can put the C4 on there and have that as the top one. Let's see if I can get that to go on. Yep, it goes right in there. So if you didn't want the C4 part there to go after the Joes, you could use 2 alternatives. You can use the basic white with the Cobra logo, or you could do the battle damaged white. So here's a battle damaged white. You can see there's like some indentations in that where it got hit and things like that. So I'm going to stick with this one because it kind of matches the deco a lot. The C4 one, because I kind of like it. The C4 on there matches the deco a lot. I think it looks really good. So I'm going to stick with that one. So then we have some of his extra things that he gets put on. So we have this sniper rifle, this cool Arctic sniper rifle, right? And it has some white deco and a strap. And then we have a sniper sound suppressor that goes on that. I'm guessing right on the front there. Yeah. But this we're in the time frame where we have a lot of the weapons are a little wibbly and they're a little soft. We're in the soft plastic era of this, and it's a little bit kind of unnerving when you get these weapons and they're all bent and stuff like that. But then we have the standing position for that as well. It has that little thing there, so you can put the bat with his sniper rifle in the Arctic if he's trying to get somebody. And so I put the silencer, the suppressor on there. So then we have a chainsaw. Now, I think that's the first time we got a chainsaw because he's in the Arctic, he might have to cut trees down or something like that. And there's some silver deco on that, both sides with a little greeble on there to show the engine and stuff like that. So I guess you could pull his hand off and put the chainsaw on. But I think I'm going to leave the chainsaw off because I want to use that rifle. So I'm putting the chainsaw on the backpack. The cool thing about these backpacks, you can put his accessories on there and they attach like that, except this one isn't attaching the way it's supposed to. No. No. Let's see. Let's fiddle with this so we can get this to stay on, because I want the chainsaw to go on here without any problems. All right, so I got that on there, and now put the backpack back on his back. Oh, it came off. The chainsaw came off. So looks like we're gonna have a problem with the chainsaw. So we may have to switch out the hand after all, because the chainsaw doesn't want to stay on his back. So we're going to take his hand off. I'm going to put the chainsaw on his hand. There. So there. So that's a problem. I don't care for that much. So we have the chainsaw on there. That means I have to put his hand in his backpack. There. There. It's in his backpack now. There. So then he has his gun, which is gray and has I think it's the same gun that he's gotten for all the other versions of him. Yep. Yep, it's the same gun. The holster's in a different position this time, though. The holster's on the right leg and not on the left leg. So that's different as well. Let's see. So I'm having trouble with this. Let's see if we can do it. There. All right. I got the gun in his weapon in his holster there. I got the chainsaw. I got the backpack. I got his hand on there. Now that's going to be difficult for him to try to do his sniper rifle with the chainsaw on his hand, because that's not normally how people deal with this sort of stuff with a chainsaw on their hand, you know? So I'm not thrilled about that prospect. But I have the rifle in his hand. Yeah, I'm not too thrilled with that. But there's your rifle on your Arctic bat with his chainsaw. So, I wonder if there's a different way to put that chainsaw on without having it on the backpack or on this. Anybody in the chat know if there's a better use for that chainsaw on this? Because I really don't like that the way it is at all. I prefer to have the chainsaw on the back if I can, but it doesn't want to stay in there. So there you go. There's your chainsaw-handed bat with his rifle. The figure overall, I think, is a really cool figure. I really don't like that. I'm going to see if I can swap that back out and see what I can do with that. But if I have to just put it with his crate, I will, because I prefer to have the hand with the sniper rifle, because that's the way that should go, like that. There. Come like that. See? Should be like that. Then you put the feet up like that. There, like that. That's the way that should be. The chainsaw is kind of in the way of that. I don't really like it. I'm going to take the backpack back off. I'm going to try to get this to stay on. Maybe if I put it in a different angle, maybe it'll stay. Yeah. Yeah, so the chainsaw does not want to stay on. So I'm going to leave it off. Um, put his backpack back on there. I might be able to use that chainsaw on one of the other bats and use one of the other accessories. Maybe use the blowtorch or something like that. It might be better for the bat. What do you guys think? That's the cool thing about Classified. It's a very modular, playable type toy line that you can do a lot of cool stuff with. When it comes to the accessories and stuff that come on and off, like the backpacks and stuff like that, I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to swap out one of the other ones, swap out one of the accessories from the other bats, and um, put the chainsaw on there. Um, and it seems like this rifle's a little loose too. Each hand that I've put it in, it doesn't seem to hold tight. So that's a problem as well. So far I've had a lot of problems with the accessories on this. I'm not too thrilled with it. I do like a lot of the extra details and the changes and stuff like that. These shoulder pauldrons have some really cool detail on them as well. Um, and he has those gas things that are on all the other backpacks that are cool. It's all silver. So this secondary on the waist has a lot of new pouches and some new stuff, and the armaments that he has some straps and things. So there are a lot of new elements to this. It's just some of the accessories are not really sturdy, which I'm not happy about that. But you're not going to have 100% winners on all of these. But overall, I think this bat's pretty good. Um, so that's our fourth bat overall. I would say um, overall, it's an all right figure. There's a lot of cool elements to it and a lot of neat stuff. But I am very disappointed with the accessories on that one. I think the wibbly weapons and the fact that you can't get them to stay in their holsters. So I'll have to play around with some of the accessories and see if I can swap out one of them for one of the other bats, possibly, and reuse it that way. But there is your Arctic bat. I hope you guys enjoyed the ones that you guys have. What do you guys think of them constantly making bats? I think we're going to get another bat. So we've got the vintage bat. Well, I guess the classified up version of the bat. Then we got the Python bat. Then we got the Crimson bat. Now we have the Arctic bat. Let's see. Are there any other bats coming? I know there's the vintage, close vintage version of the bat is coming. Um, Everybody's been asking for the dreadnought version of the bat for a while, and I think that's something we should have got the chainsaw with. I think because that one you could have had all different like parts, and he could have been all different weird stuff like peg legs and this and that, and it could have been really crazy, and it would have been cool to have a chainsaw with that bat. I can see why they put it with the Arctic bat, but it doesn't really go with that Arctic bat as much as I think it would go with like a dreadnought inspired bat. And then you could do all kinds of crazy weapons, like one of those uh, um, things with the balls with the spikes on it. You could do all kinds of things that they've included with different dreadnoughts. You could add like buzzer torches or rippers or monkey wrenches, different accessories, or even like the road pig. You can do that big mace with the big brick or something like that. You can make like a deluxe dreadnought bat and have like every accessory under the sun, but you would need to make them all modular so you could stick them either in the backpack or somehow have them on it and have it like all messed up, similar to that robot from the Skeleton Crew, where he was like kind of like uh, not really solid. He was always looking like he was going to fall apart and everything. And whenever he would talk, he'd like do hiccups and stuff. I thought that was a cool looking robot, but that's the type of thing I would think you could use for the bat if it was a dreadnought bat. What other kinds of bats do you think they could do? I know that they have the flame bats, the jungle bats, the bats version 2. There's a bunch of other bats that we got in the 4-inch line and that we've never gotten from the classified thus far. But I'm glad that waiting a little bit before we get another bat, because we're up to 69 and we've gotten 4 bats. So that's a lot of reuse. So far, I would say Snake Eyes, Roadblock, Cobra Commander, and the Bat are your 4 most reused characters up until 69, because there was 1, 2, 3, 3 Cobra Commanders, and then the HasLab Hiss one, which we won't get till like around 100 because that was pre-ordered. So we had 4 Cobra Commanders up to this point. We have 6 Snake Eyeses, and there's another Snake Eyes coming very shortly, and another one after that. So we're gonna end up with like 8 Snake Eyeses in a very short amount of time, within a couple of years. And then Roadblock, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 Roadblocks, and 4 bats. So those are your 4 most used figures up until 69, and then 7 or so vintage package, and some odds and ends like the double Zero Snake Eyes, the Fortnite Snake Eyes, the running variants, and things like that. We got some doubles there as well. So it was good that they kind of slowed down on some of these characters and they gave us a little bit of time between them. Maybe 1 Snake Eyes a year or something like that. Maybe 1 Cobra Commander a year would be fine, because there's a lot of Cobra Commanders, there's a lot of Snake Eyeses, and there's obviously a lot of bats as well. And there's a few more Roadblocks if they really wanted to do more Roadblocks. I would like a second version of that Roadblock version 2 that they did in the very, very beginning. I would like a more accurate version, maybe in a vintage package. We could get a more accurate version of that Roadblocks wasn't the super duper high tech futuristic and the running variant of the Roblox. So a lot of these guys that we've gotten second and third and fourth and now sixth or whatever, I think some of them could be revisited down the line. Would you guys like to revisit some of that stuff and get better versions of it or different versions of them? Because I think they got better when they started to get into the later part of the second year and third year and fourth year. I think things got much better. So the sculpting got better, the machines face printings got better, and the accessories and things, we got better with them. So yeah, I would like to see if we could get revisit some of those, similar to what they did with Scarlet and Duke. They revisited both of them, and technically Snake Eyes has had multiple revisits, but I think some of those other ones could have used a revisit as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's another short one. Again, let's see. We have a brand new character next. Thank you, guys, for contributing to the chat and getting involved. I really appreciate that. And thank you guys in watching after the fact. I really appreciate you guys watching after the fact and contributing and asking questions. So number 70 is next. It's a new character. You guys have any questions you want to ask before I go? Um, I don't think I have anything else to add to this Arctic bat. Um, I would like a desert bat. I'd like them to go and do all the different environments: jungle, desert, water. Wouldn't it be interesting to get a water bat? And then I think I mentioned in the Crimson Bat one, during Sigma 6, they did these flying bats with like propellers and rockets and stuff like that. They were really cool, these Sigma 6 bats. I would love to get that as a classified, one of those flying bats. So there's a lot or more room for more bats. I'll have to say that. But I'm glad they're spreading out the bats, because I don't think there's another bat between the Arctic bat and the vintage bat. I could be mistaken. I could be mistaken. There might be one more in there, and I'm just not thinking of what it is off the top of my head. But all right, guys, I guess we'll call it quits there, and we will see you in the next one. This is a Cobra video, so hail Cobra!